and he obtained a judgment for you for £1,000. Are you aware of that correspondence?
I know nothing about it.
Your relationship or your engagements with the now Lieutenant General Mosikile, she was at some point an acting commissioner in Gauteng, and she also headed up its detective services. What has been your engagements with her over the years?
I don't think I've spoken to her for more than 10 years. I can't remember. It would be a very long time ago.
So when you were in contact with her 10 years ago, however long it was, what sort of engagements did you have with her?
It's probably even more than 10 years ago. I'm afraid I can't remember. It's probably 15 years ago, or 20
Did you have meetings with her regularly?
I don't think so. We may have had, I just can't remember.
You've never asked to have meetings with her and dropped off dossiers in her office on investigations?
I can't remember.
You don't?
It's possible. You know, when you open...
You know, that normally happens. We don't remember when we're not sure if someone has submitted evidence.
If I could remember, Chairman, I would absolutely say I can remember this and I can remember that. I do.
You remember a lot of other things, though.
Well, with all due respect, you know, you have to try and move some of the stuff out of your memory to put other stuff into the memory.
No problem.
And as far as I can remember, my interactions with General Mosikile at the time were business-like, cordial and professional. The same like with General Sabia. We never had any social interactions with her. There would be, I think at one stage she was head of detectives for Gauteng.
Okay.
And during that period, there would have been cases that, and I don't think we're alone in saying this, that some cases get stuck in a logjam at a police station somewhere, or there's some interference with a case where the case doesn't get properly investigated, and the only way to deal with those matters is to escalate it. Okay. And we would have escalated those matters. So, and I think that's probably...
when she spoke about you rather affectionately, but I suppose she's younger and her memory might be a little bit more fresh.
If I'd say I probably haven't spoken to her for 10 years, I think that would be fairly accurate.
Okay. No, but I wasn't talking about the time on how long, but I was talking about at a period. But it's fine.
Pardon, I can't hear you. Sorry, Chair. This chair is grossly uncomfortable.
Next, Honorable.
No, she's continuing, sir.
She's using her minutes.
She's in charge.
She's using her minutes.
She's in charge.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm almost done anyway. Just on General Mosikile, there's an email, but it's unconfirmed yet, and we are getting clarity on this email, where she recommends you to do this investigation for Dr. Masuku. Like, highly recommended you. Would you be surprised if she would do something like that?
Chairman, I would have no knowledge of this email. Okay. I can't remember why Dr. Masuku came to us. People come to us and they ask us to do an investigation. The first thing we do is the normal FICA checks and stuff, and then they sign a mandate and we get on with the investigation.
Okay, completely understand, Mr. O'Sullivan. It was just quite a big case, so I thought it would be something that would be entrenched in your memory, but that's no problem. Let's talk about, apparently, and you'll say, tell us yes or no, there's a download or an existence of some proof of payments amounting to 200,000. And this reflects payments that were made towards McBride's legal fees at some point. Are you aware of anything like that?
Chairman, I think I already gave evidence that we made a donation to,
Okay.
and it was just a contribution. I believe the legal fees ran into
Okay.
millions, but we donated 200,000 rand.
So you are confirming that? Okay, no
That's
problem.
correct.
And you personally authorized those payments towards the legal fees?
That is correct. In fact, we paid it to the attorneys.
Okay, no problem. We're just going to go back a little bit when you applied for your permanent residency in South Africa in 1989. And in that application with the information we received from Home Affairs, and I think, and I hope the evidence leaders circulated that bundle because we put it in the group a while ago. But in that bundle, we do have some copies. It's just two of the documents we're going to refer to. You declared that you owned two houses, one in the United Kingdom, which was still under mortgage and being paid, and then another house in South Africa. And you said you had very little cash in hand. And then there's no record on this application of multiple properties or significant capital investments. Is this correct?
No, so that would have been the properties in my personal name.
Oh, okay. No
That wouldn't have dealt with institutional.
Okay. So when you submit applications to Home Affairs, it's my understanding that you would state that this is my personal and these are. So you didn't provide the information to Home Affairs when you applied for your permanent residency to state that you also had these are the companies and these are the properties that I have.
I can't, we're talking
You
40,
can't remember. Okay.
40 years ago. I went and I sat and they wanted accountants' records, audited accounts and so on. And if I have to look for them now, I don't think I'll find them.
Okay. Okay. Because Home Affairs file doesn't have anything that indicated that you had more than two properties and one was under investigation.
Under investigation.
Sorry, not under investigation, that you had any other properties that just indicate one was under mortgage.
I had
beg your
multiple
pardon.
properties. So
Well, you didn't declare that to Home Affairs when
I
you
absolute-
applied in
I abs-
1989.
I absolutely did. Yeah.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
Okay.
but they weren't in my name.
Okay, but you declared to them that.
I declared all my assets and liabilities.
Okay. So I think we must note that for our evidence leaders and our legal team that we get clarity on all the documents. They have provided it to us, but we must get it officially via the committee chair on what's information, because what we have, it's not showing that. And then just quickly, and on our last point here, would be in 1991, there was a motor accident judgment in the UK. Dr. R. Finn. So you wrote to the Department of Home Affairs stating that he was pursuing a private investigation against you for a motor accident that you caused. And then he
In
obtained a
1991?
judgment, 1991. And he obtained a judgment for you for £1,000.
I know
Are you
nothing,
aware of that correspondence?
I know nothing about it.
Oh, okay. And Home Affairs later contacted you regarding this matter, and you responded to the letter from Dr. Finn.
I don't
And
even
you
know who
listed
this
your-
Dr. Fenn is.
You don't know?
No.
Okay, so that's also something we must note and follow up and get clarity on the Home Affairs files. But in the meantime, we do have those few documents. I'm done. Thank you, Chair. And
Am I allowed to get copies of these documents?
So you didn't hand over those documents of Home Affairs that we posted 2 weeks ago?
Thanks, Chair. How many minutes? Until 12:54. Mr. O'Sullivan, when you walked out of the hearing last time, that was you feeling very superior and looking very down at us and thinking you are more powerful than all of us. Am I correct to put that statement?
No, that's not correct.
But what was going on? I mean, if the chairperson is sitting there, we are here, why would you just feel this power that you don't have over Parliament and just walk out?
I'm afraid it's a misinterpretation on your part. It may look that way, unfortunately, and it's it's very unfortunate. My health isn't good, and I'm already now starting to feel quite a bit of pain sitting here.
Honorable
And I really don't think.
Mr. O'Sullivan, can we reserve that question for our later session, like I requested? That we will come and deal with that matter and give you time to solicit answers from him. Yeah. If you can please now ask him, are you fine? You can proceed.
Mr. Sullivan, you previously stated before this committee that you hosted a book launch.
Pardon?
You previously stated before this committee that you hosted a book launch. That BRI was a book launch, and you said it was a year-end function, right?
It was no. I didn't say.
I'm not done.
Ah.
You previously stated that it was a book launch, a year-end function at the former home of serial killer, murderer, drug kingpin, Radovan Krečner. This morning you told us you didn't know the owner. Minutes later, we learned that he was a close friend of yours. Am I right?
I didn't.
And that you actually did the bidding for that house.
No, I didn't say I didn't know the owner. I said that
But you couldn't remember, you had all sorts of stories.
No, I said I contacted the owner and asked for permission to use the
You
house.
couldn't remember the name.
So sometimes you have to get it back. You know, there's no doubt.
Mr. O'Sullivan, you lied.
Okay.
You lied under oath this morning. And we've had enough of your lies at this point. You knew very well whose home that was. Mr. O'Sullivan, what was your main reason in that motivation letter that was written by Waterson for coming to this country? Let me remind you what was put in there. I believe he would be a very useful addition to the white community of this country. That's why you came to this country. That BRI, that book launch, invitations from your office went out under the header, top secret. Am I correct?
No, it's not correct.
It cannot not be correct. Because in my possession, I have those invitations that went out as top secret. I'm not asking you to respond.
Can I see? Can I see the invitation?
Mr. O'Sullivan, vandag is die by jou nie.
Can I see?
Mr. O'Sullivan, I will show you.
Thank you.
It said top secret. It's been mentioned in this committee before. So you lied about the BRI. You lied about the book launch. You lied about the fact that you didn't know the owner. You also said here, your guests, looking back to your reason and purpose for coming into this country, your guests were from AfriForum. You labeled that meeting as top secret.
What?
You had AfriForum guests there, and up until today, we still don't know who were the DA members present at that meeting. Up until today. Now see where I'm going with this pattern. Here to help the white community, top secret meeting, you have AfriForum there and you have the DA there. In your investigations, you only target, all your targets, and Honorable Wessels pointed this out earlier on, all your targets in this country was the leadership of this country. It was ministers and it was heads of department. Can I tell you why? It was your intention to overthrow this government, and it still is. I look at all the articles released in 2017 and shortly after that meeting that you had, that BRI book launch van niemand te boek gekry dit nie. Supporting articles by the DA, EWN on the 26th of the 1st, 2017, DA to reveal more evidence of alleged corruption against Patlane.
Say again, I didn't hear that.
An article, EWN article, that has now been taken down. But it's in the messages because you guys would copy each other in the messages and the support.
What messages? I don't understand what messages you're talking
Messages
about.
between Sarah Jane Trent and Mandla.
I didn't involve myself in any.
Yeah, you don't have to involve yourself. You don't have anything to do with anything that's wrong in this country. The DA supported your plot against overthrowing this government.
The DA.
Yes.
How did that work? You have some evidence about that?
I will show you.
So you're saying, if I understand you correctly,
I'm saying that you
the
came to this
DA
country to be of assistance to the white community, and I am saying to you that you plotted top ministers in this country, ministers such as Natin Tetwa, ministers such as Fikile, a whole lot of ministers. It's in that conversation between Sarah and McBride. If you look at the pattern, if you study the people that you choose to investigate and go after, it is ministers, it is people like Jackie Selebi, it is people like Patlani, it is heads of organizations, of state organizations. You were plotting to overthrow this government, and I leave it at that.
with due respect, I think you've been watching too much TV.
Like you.
And
I have
For-
been following a pattern and I've
for-
been following a trend.
for the
I'm going
record,
to leave that. I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm
No, you
trying to
can't.
paint you a picture here.
Chairman,
I'm Mr. Sullivan. I'm going on to my second question.
No, I have to finish dealing with your first question. And the reality of the
right.
situation
The book
is
launch.
quite simply, first of all, I don't know about any so-called book launch. It was a braai, and at the same time,
That was called top
At-
secret.
I don't know anything about any top
Okay.
secret. At the same time, it was the end of year braai, and by the way, there were nobody
With
there.
Forum,
there-
with DA, with the head of IPID.
Chairman, I'm trying to answer and I'm being interrupted. It is not the right.
Mr. Sullivan, you have
protocol.
lied too much.
The
this morning
reality
to
is
be giving you airtime.
There was nobody at that braai from the DA. There was nobody at that braai from AfriForum. And my understanding is that AfriForum have already opened a criminal docket of perjury against Cedric and Kabinda for sitting in this house and lying that AfriForum and the DA were present. And I can 100% guarantee there was nobody there from the DA and there was nobody there from AfriForum. And by the way, I would say 80% of the people that were there were African. So
From SAPS, from state organ that was helping you
no,
to plot against General Patlani.
Chairman,
I'd like to move
the
on
member
now.
is making this up as she goes along, and it's a farce,
I am
complete farce.
making up anything.
Absolutely.
I keep saying when I ask questions, it's not because I don't have the answers, or it's not because because I do have supporting documentation.
Well, perhaps I can have the evidence.
When you stated this morning, you also again lied, and this is why my patience is up with you. When you stated this morning, you do not require CIRA membership, right, as a forensic investigator. That's right. You said you don't.
If you're a certified fraud examiner, there's an agreement between CIRA and the ACFE, which makes it clear that if you're a CFE, you do not need to be registered with CIRA. However, because I've been registered with CIRA since 19 whatever, I can't remember the year, I've kept my membership going in case, just in case, I decide to involve myself in security company activities, but I'm not involved in any security company activities.
Mr. Sullivan,
And I do not.
Mr.
Let
O'Sullivan.
me finish answering, please.
Mr. O'Sullivan, I'm done.
I
need
would
an
like
answer
to
from you.
finish answering the question because you're making false allegations and then you're preventing me from answering. The reality is that there's an agreement between ACFE, a written signed agreement, which was approved by the minister, which makes it clear that if you're a certified fraud examiner, you do not have to belong to CIRA. However, I've kept my CIRA membership going just because, but I don't need to be a CERA member.